In our community, one of the most common things I get requested is, are we going to hit a recession because of all this inflation, and won't that do to the stock market? All valid questions, but remember, we're here for the long term. But if you are worried about those things, I want you to remember, since 1900, how well has the US economy done? And since then, how many recessions have we had? How much inflation have we had? Stock market go down. In 1928, from the peak to the bottom, stock market fell 86%. And guess what? You would have been happy buying at the peak, and you've been happy buying at the bottom based on going forward 10, 15, 20, 30 years. The US economy is very resilient. Now, I want you all to remember, we are going to have recessions at some point. Apart from the COVID recession we haven't had a recession since 2009. In fact, 2010 to 2020 was the first time, I believe, in US history that we did not have a recession between the 10 years of a beginning and end of a decade. That's pretty impressive. Now, is that a good thing? Well, some could argue it's based on the Fed's work of printing dollars, which makes a lot of sense for us in the short term. But in the long term, it ends up becoming what's happened recently, inflation. This is why we encourage everyone to live well within your means and save your money. Because the more buffer you have, the more margin of safety you have in your lifestyle, you can withstand increases in gas prices like we're experiencing right now. Inflation is, by many metrics, over 8% per year right now. That's big time money, right? That hurts the average person way more than it hurts the wealthy. So as an average person, if you're watching, you have to sit there and say, let me be cautious here. As a wealthy person, there's no guarantees your job will be there. Because guess what? If we hit a recession, what do you need to do? Well, you need to be more money conscious. You have retirement money. You might be looking to invest money. Stock market's the way to go, right? Well, what happens if stocks fall? It's pretty scary. It can be scary. I used to be scared when stocks fall. Guess what I am now? I love when stocks fall. Our community loves it when stocks fall. When the days are red and big numbers, we get cheering in here. Why? Because we've programmed ourselves to look for buying opportunities. Buying opportunities did not occur when stocks are flying high for no apparent reason. Buying opportunities occur when stocks are falling and they're exaggerated in their falling. This year, the market's down 10, 15%. Is that enough? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Based on long-term metrics, based on those long-term metrics that matter, stocks have a lot longer and a lot more to fall. But that's okay. It's an opportunity for you if you are between 25 and 45 years old to invest for the long run. If you're older than 45, you might be getting closer to retirement. Just use this as a way to be more cautious. Figure out a way to be more cautious. Join the community. Figure out how you can sit there and say, hey, how can I hedge against these things that might happen? If you're younger than 25, geez, oh, Pete, how lucky are you? You found this channel. You can sit here. You can join this community. We have people in here as young as 15, 16 years old, sitting there trying to learn from the people who've been there for a long time. Our software here was built to help you keep track of your goals and to make decisions based on your goals. This retirement calculator right here has shown people what it takes for them to be able to retire comfortably. The stock analyzer tool will literally allow you as an investor to make conservative assumptions of the future and tell you what to pay for a stock based on those assumptions. Have you ever been confused like I was 20 years ago on what do I pay for the stock? This eliminates that confusion. It allows you to go in there and make assumptions and tells you the exact price you should pay based on your assumptions coming true. 8-pillar portfolio. Take your current portfolio, apply it to our 8-pillar process. It'll tell you how those stocks look from an 8-pillar standpoint. Exclusive video content. Guys, every single day we're posting videos to only the people in our community that describe a lot of these topics. You see it on YouTube and think, wow, this is great. Imagine getting it every single day, being reassured every single day that the red days are good days, that the big falls in the stock market are good things to happen. I've had stocks fall that I love. Guess what? I knew why they fell and I kept buying. These other hype YouTubers, they have no idea why stocks fall and they get scared and they bail when stocks fall. The only time I bail when a stock has fallen is if my thesis has changed. If it hasn't changed, then guess what? I buy more. Have you heard of that from anybody else before? It's a guy named Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. If you hadn't heard of him, please Google them. But clearly you have. This is the exact mantra. All those other hype YouTubers out there will sit there and talk about how they love Warren Buffett and they do as I say, not as I do, in my opinion, because if you did what they did, you'd be selling at the first sign of fear. We have a process. Process works. Process works in the long run. Yes, some things might not work out here or there, but the same process will make you get into the Hall of Fame. The same thing with investing is with baseball. A 300 to 400 average will get you in the Hall of Fame. That's all you need. This software provides a lot of that for you, and it's growing. Look at all the things we're doing below. These are all the things coming soon. And this is all available for less than a cup of coffee per day. Imagine all the things you spend a couple bucks on per day. Imagine securing your financial future and sleeping better at night just by doing a couple of dollars per day in our software. And join a community of people that you can chat with. Over 12,000 people have joined our software since we started it. That's a lot of people. And they're all there to talk and learn. And you should see the amazing conversations. I learn from these people every day. They bring up points I didn't think about. Now, does that change my mind all the time? Not necessarily, but it makes me have another perspective of thinking about something. And it's a wonderful way to sit there and engage people that are like-minded. When stocks are falling, the last thing you want to do is be selling good quality stocks and indexes. Here's the stock market over long periods of time. This is the value of the stock market over long periods of time, right? But guess what? This is what stock prices do. What you're going to do, what you need to learn, is to buy good valued stocks all the time when they make sense. This is your ETFs. You're not going to know when the stocks are over or undervalued. Overvalued sometimes, undervalued sometimes. Overall, your average is here. When it comes to individual plays, we're going to teach you how to buy when stocks are here and to be greedy when others are fearful and avoid this. This is where the average person buys. This is where the average person sells. Do you want to be average? In order to beat the market, you have to think differently. Don't be this guy. Be this guy. Be the person who relishes in people mispricing an asset. Be that person. Palantir stock was $39 a share a year ago. I said avoid it. I'd be interested around $5. It is now $9 a share, got as low as $6. And it's still not where I want it to be, but I'm interested when everybody else has sold. Why? That's when you get the good deals. Amazon hit a peak in 2001 of $113 a share. It fell all the way to $6. Be the person who is buying at $6. That's what you need to be. Be the person who is buying at 30 and then 20 and then 10 and then 6 because you believed in the fundamentals. We are teaching the fundamentals of stocks. Stocks are merely a reflection of the fundamentals of a business. But you've got to remember that the stock market is going to fluctuate based on people's emotional perception of the companies, not reality. That is what you're learning here. Go sign up now, everythingmoney.com or patreon.com, less than a cup of coffee per day.